Welcome to the No Horsing Around podcast. Zach Boyd, Stephen Burton, Indianapolis Colts for the first time since 2013 do not lose their home opener, but they also didn't win. And guys, there's not a lot to be happy about, honestly. In this podcast here, we try to keep it pretty positive, try to keep it pretty, upbeat. But I'm pissed off right now, and I'm just going to start, and then I'll let Stephen take his time to speak what he needs to. You got a field goal kicker that you've known there's been a problem for 2 years when it comes to clutch kicks and kicking from distance. You continually haven't found an upgrade right there, right? So you didn't do that. You've got a coach who just in game just makes these weird calls. You go and do this wildcat offense when you got the best running back in the NFL, and at the very least, there's no option, Stephen, to pass or run in that situation. They know you're running the football. Like, they know at that point there's not a quarterback back there. They know we're going to run the football. We can sit there and say, good for us coming back and tying this game. And I say, piss on that, man. I say that. I don't care about that. You played a really, really, really bad football team last year after what happened with Jacksonville, after everything that's happened this whole offseason, this all chips in mantra, all of these things. And we are literally, I don't know if we're any further ahead right now than we were this time last year as we were walking off the field against Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's very defeating. I'll get into it a little bit. There's really, outside of, honestly, Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor, there's nothing I liked about this football game as far as this team plays. Stephen, what do you got to say, man?
Well, I'm with you. Me and you were talking and texting during the game, and the thumbnail that they're going to see for this says every bit of how me and you felt throughout the game.
Yeah,
every bit of it. I'm at a loss to look that lost again, to look that underprepared. It just blows my mind. I'm sitting there. I don't know what to think. You play the players in the preseason, and this is the result. Like, for not, and you can say, oh, we've always been kind of a second half team. It took 4 quarters to get anything going. Yeah. Matt Ryan, I don't know how I feel. I will say this. The one thing that I can say is I believe, at least last year, I don't think we make the comeback to get to the tie. I don't think there's the poise probably at the QB position to make the drive down the field one more time. But, it's been years since when we've had a chance to kick a field goal that I have felt comfortable. Like, that's, and for years, decades, we always felt comfortable with the kicker going in there to make the clutch kick.
Yeah. And
you just didn't, I didn't feel that. I'm with you. I think the only positives to take, I'll add one more to yours. I liked Kwity Paye. I thought he played well near the end. I liked him getting those the last sack in a prevent defense, only rushing 3 and still getting to him. It's on Davis Mills. It was a stupid play on his part, but I liked that. I liked Pittman Jr. looked good. I was not impressed. I didn't like Alec Pierce in this game, and Matt Ryan is a question mark right now.
Hey, let's just go through the laundry list of things that we didn't like. First of all, you got a veteran quarterback who cannot take a snap. I'm talking about pass pro. I'm talking about under the center. That man could not get it together. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll be 100% honest with you. I've never seen anything like it from a veteran. A lot of times when you have a backup come in, Steve, and you see that, they just haven't had any kind of continuity. But, it's just over and over and over again and putting his team into terrible situations. And honestly, if we weren't playing one of the worst 3 or 4 teams in the NFL, he probably loses almost every single one of those fumbles. Mm-hmm. That's a nuts and bolts. Julian Blackmon, who everybody knows we are huge Jumpman fans on this podcast, played terrible today. He was out of place. He got beat. He got caught in the hole several times. They literally ran the same exact play opposite side of the field to O.J. Howard for the touchdown on both touchdown plays. They literally just said, okay, in the first half, we ran it to the right-hand side. It worked so well. We're just going to flip the field, and we're going to put O.J. Howard on the left side of the field. We're going to run the same exact play. because they don't know what the hell they're doing right here. They're going to bite for this play.
Oh, they said it on the broadcast.
Yeah, we're going to have a wide open touchdown. I'm with you defensively. Kwity Paye had some really nice plays at the end of the game. I thought Grover Stewart had a nice stop. At the end, we had to have that because their field goal kicker, honestly, probably would have made the field goal. He's a veteran clutch, field goal kicker. Jonathan Taylor does Jonathan Taylor things. He masks so much of how bad your football team is. I didn't love the offensive line continuity today. I thought there were good moments. I thought there were bad moments. And I thought there were some real just blah moments. Like, honestly, it was just –
yeah.
And I've been beating the horn for so long, and people have just been kind of blocking it out and in all the noise. We need a veteran wide receiver for games like this. Teams know we're going to go to Michael Pittman Jr. every single time. We don't have a lot of other options, and I don't want to hear about Paris Campbell catching garbage catches. I don't want to hear about, those things. Hey, yeah, good for them. They caught the ball. But at the end of the day, this is why you need those veterans for those big plays. I mean, we dropped 2 touchdowns in the end zone. Ashton Doolin, Alec Pierce dropping touchdowns that could have potentially helped you win a football game, especially the Pierce touchdown. I mean, that was just and here's another situation where if you're not going to run it, just kick the field goal, just take the points. Wouldn't we have liked 3 points right there? I mean, there, that's the game. That wins you the football game right there. If you just take the easy 3 points, you win the football game. It's this mantra of Frank Reich getting in his own way sometimes when it comes right down to it. And for me, I've been a big Frank Reich fan, man, but my antennas are way up with this guy. Like, I mean, just is he going to be able to lead and prepare these players? And is he going to be able to enforce the fact that these mistakes were so critical? You've got on the kickoff, you've got 2 straight kickoffs that you kick out of bounds and give them the ball at the 40-yard line. I mean, if you give that ball to just about anybody else, that's a loss, man. I mean, just chalk it right up as far as that goes. I won't go too far into it. This is just our instant reaction, Stephen. I'll let you kind of have some final thoughts on this one, and then we'll take a deep breath.
Well, I joke too. You can see the little one's face is even upset.
Yeah,
she's even angry about it. I'll add one bright spot, and it's like the white speck on the top of a piece of bird crap. Anything with this, but second half defense played well. Gilmore was as advertised. He did play very well. I was really hoping he pulled in that pick. That'd have been nice. But you took the words out of my mouth too. I mean, Rodrigo kicking the ball out of bounds at the end of the game. I mean, what are you doing? Roughing the kicker? I mean, when you rough the punter too, when you would have got the ball back probably at midfield, it's just unprepared. I'm going to withhold judgment. Not really. There's judgment, plenty of judgment, but Jags almost beat the Washington Commanders today. You better come ready to play in week 2 or we're going to be 0-1-1.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Stephen, as we wrap this one up. I don't know if they're ever going to come prepared, honestly. Like, I don't know if there's such a thing under a Frank Reich regime. He's a good coach. I believe in his X's and O's styles, but at the same time, he makes bad in-game decisions a lot of the time. I'm disappointed in a lot of the things that he does. And what I would say to you is that at the very least, as Colts fans, we need to start monitoring this situation a little bit closer. Today really brought something to my, the light out to me as far as how I'm going to be looking at him and judging him as the season goes on. But man, we want to know what you guys think. You guys take this thing over. You guys like the comments up. If you haven't subscribed, join the family. We're almost to 1.6K. We'd love to do that by end of day. We're going to get this out to you fast, so we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Nothing changes on Stephen and I's part. I love you. He loves you. No doubt about it. And we're out. Go Colts. We'll be back for next week, week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars.